Let's talk about opening and saving show files. So you'll notice here in my sidebar, my file name is called Trailer Stage. That's the name of my show, and that's got a little asterisk next to it. That means that there have been changes that have been made since that file was last saved. So if I were to go and start a new show right now, options, new show, the console's going to come up and say, well, there are changes that have been made. Would you like to save them? And in my case here, yes, I would like to save those. So that's going to save the show. And once that is saved, it's then going to open a new show that we can then start. And here we are. This is our new show display. This is what you would typically see. And it's just going to be basically your classic view showing you all of your single dimmer channels that have been defined. And you can specify how many dimmers are defined by default within system properties. You can go to options, system properties, and you can see here number of desk channels. And that's what we can see here. We can see the 500 desk channels by default. Unnamed show has been is what it will be called. It's a new. We've just started a new show. So if I were to go and say one at now on the console, and I'm just literally going to record that. So I'm going to do a record to record a cue. We've made changes, and therefore that asterisk has reappeared. If I go options and go save, this is going to allow me to save as. So at this current point in time, because we haven't saved the show yet, save and save file are actually the same thing. So we can give this show file a name. So I'm going to call this my show, and we can then browse as you would expect to where you might want to store it, if you've got network drives or removable drives. But actually you can also store natively to cloud storage. So OneDrive, Google Drive and Dropbox are all supported natively. Now in my case here, I'm just going to save it into my home directory here. And that's then going to save those changes. So from now onwards, I can just literally go and I'll make another change. So let's go and say to at record. I get my asterisk, but this time I can just literally go option save. And I obviously don't need to define where I want that to be stored to. It's just going to update the show file. But if I want to, I can do save file. Notice at the moment, save is greyed out because there are no changes that have been made. But save file, that does allow me to give it a new name, or I can of course do a save file and choose to manually save it to a different location. Now, as well as manually saving backups, the console will be doing automatic show file backups. It will automatically be saving your file alongside you manually saving the file. And there's a few settings to be aware of. So first of all, go to options, system properties, and within system settings, we have our automatic backups in the basic tab. And you'll have a location number 1, that's kind of your standard backup, which is probably going to be to a directory on the console. But then you actually have backup location 2, so that would be a good idea to also plug a USB drive into the console and get your console also saving to that as well. You can never have too many backups. It's always a good idea. But you can actually specify how many of backups you want. So we can see here number of automatic backups is 10, i.e. when you get greater than 10, the console will then delete the old versions of the file. So it will just keep doing a new file, and when it gets to 10 new files, it's then going to just delete the earliest version of that. Of course, if you've done a manual save as of an earlier revision, it's obviously not going to get rid of that. It's just it's only the automatic backups that would be removed, so that you don't end up with loads and loads of show files that you don't need. The backup interval is 5 minutes, so it's going to be doing one of these backups every 5 minutes, but you can change that from there if you want to as well. I'm going to click cancel on that. Now, Of course, you can go in here and manually go Option Save each time you've made a change to your show. So again, 3 at my record. My asterisk appears again, so you can go and manually go Option Save, or you can use a shortcut. So you've got a couple of options. First of all, I could literally just type save. So if you go and just type raw text into your command line, do a save enter, it will actually use that as a save command. If you type save in manually, it will use that as a save command. But what I can also do is I'm going to, in bottom right here, I'm going to go and open my shortcuts, and I'm going to right click on shortcut 10 and say add quick command. Now in the quick command field, if I want to, I can go and type in a command. So I'm now going to type save and hit enter, and save will then be displayed in my shortcuts. So that means now whenever I want to make a save, just go ahead and hit that shortcut, and that will also be able to do a quick save to your file. So we've seen there how we can start a new show, we can make saves, and we can of course save as if we want to change directory or name. But then of course we can also open a show as well. So I'm going to go to Options, I'm going to go Open File, and within here I'm going to go and find my trailer stage show that we were working on previously, and I'm going to click Open. If I had not have saved a change that I'd just made to this show, of course I'd have got a pop-up here before this show file will have been loaded. So that's how we can start a new show, that's how we can save shows and some of the settings that are available, and that is also how we can go in and open a show file.